Okay, so we are live. Father Miller here. Welcome back to the Nerd Father. This is Sunday Night Live. So, Roman, I don't know if you were with me when I did this before the pandemic or whatever it was, but I used to do a Sunday night stream, and usually
Mm-mm.
I would do it an hour earlier because I normally on Sundays have uh, night prayer with the sisters, but tonight is not my night to do it, so I'm able to go a little bit later tonight. So
Right on, free range father. That's good.
yeah, so Justin is a friend of mine. He was supposed to join us tonight too. He's a friend from back home. Unfortunately, he had some issues that just came up, so he's not able to make it tonight. I extended
Got it.
an invite to a few others, and we'll see. So,
Okie dokie.
how are you? You got the power back.
I think things are going well. Things are going well. Um, the puppy is killing me. He's so exhausting. He's a nice boy. He's a nice boy. But man, puppies are a lot of work. In case you weren't aware of
Potty
that,
trained.
dear audience, he's getting there. Every now and then he'll have a moment, and that is almost exclusively my fault because I'm busy doing something. I'm like, oh, surely he'll be, and then no, and then Mrs. of the Empire is like, hey, did you notice that he peed on the floor? And I'm
Oh
like, well,
shit!
clearly I did not. So anyway, puppies, a lot of puppy stuff. And that's, I mean, I haven't gotten out. I haven't seen Barbie and I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. I'm one of the 7 people apparently in the country who haven't seen
8.
either of those films. Um,
You know, I somebody at mass this morning was talking about it before that Oppenheimer, the first half of it is kind of boring. Honestly, I don't want to sit through a 3-hour movie.
Now, 3 hours is a lot, especially in the age where we can have a home theater
Yeah,
and the movie comes out a couple months later. I
yeah.
get it. Like Chris Nolan really wants you to see this movie in theaters. That's the way he feels about all his movies. He's a filmmaker. That's kind of his thing. Um, I, I mean, I'm just of an age now. I didn't really enjoy going to the movie theater before. Um, I just don't like the experience of going to the theater. I know. But I don't like well, generally the crowds, but we haven't seen that in some time. Um, it's just this whole thing. And I'm old, so I have to pee a lot. So I know I'm gonna miss at least 10 minutes of the movie at some point.
Well, it's also the half hour of credits before the
Oh, I
previews
know. Oh,
beforehand.
yeah. You're
And
always guaranteed at least 20 to 30 minutes more of
and yes, you do hear
time.
Bosco. She's trying to get my attention. So, well, I got to ask. So I named this "The Wrath of Father" because I seen the clips of Star Trek the musical. Did you watch it?
I did not. I did not watch
Have
it.
you
I
seen
couldn't
any of the
bring
clips?
myself to do it. I have. And I don't know. I'm not sure what goes through writers' heads in the modern era of writing, episodic television. But an established series, even Brave New Worlds, which is still, you have your toe in Star Trek. Um, what was that? What are they thinking? Let's do something fun and exciting and strange.
Well, I'll show sum up my feelings. I got a 8-second
Oh,
clip I uploaded. I think it's gonna sum up what I was thinking when I saw this picture. So we'll try this. That's kind of what I was thinking of when I saw that clip. It's like,
mm,
what sing along are they gonna do? I mean, it just
mm.
that doesn't
No,
scream
that's
Star Trek.
no, there's no. When I think Star Trek, the first thing that oddly enough doesn't pop into my mind is, oh, that would make a fine musical. Um,
Yeah.
apparently the writers were again, I don't know what this is just so far off the weird, like Supernatural, which is a series that I enjoyed. but it was always a little bit tongue in cheek anyway. So they would have their annual weird episode. You knew there was going to be one in every season, but it still worked within the context of the show because the show was tongue in cheek, and you knew it was coming. It wasn't like, oh, what are they doing? You knew what they were doing. This is Star Trek. Star Trek doesn't do one-off weird episodes, and I don't mean like it can have a peculiar storyline. This is just this is a whole different thing.
I mean, some people that were defending it, mocking us for criticizing it, were showing clips of like Chekhov doing the Russian dance as everybody's clapping.
Not the same thing.
That's not the same thing. Not anywhere near the same thing.
No, and continue. I mean, you can't. Here's someone doing a dance on Star Trek. Context. Why was he doing the dance? Oh, it's because of this in the episode. Got it. A whole musical number, but this whole season, I understand, has been peculiar. I've watched one episode of Brave New World, and you have to forgive me, audience, because I just, when you know a thing is a thing, there's no point in trying to call it anything other than what it is. And that is modern Trek for me, though. I watched an episode of Brave New World because I wanted to see what it looked like. And it didn't look like TOS era Star Trek, which is what it's supposed to be. So,
I mean, Uhura does not look anything like or resembling anything like what she looks like in the original series. Spock is an abomination because if you've seen the clip of him going nuts over bacon,
yeah,
I mean, it's like.
And I don't know what's going on. I assume there's some clever, quirky, they're in some kind of bubble or it's all a dream.
You're too kind.
But I don't care is the thing. I don't care because I can't bring myself to watch.
I watched the first season. I watched the first season last year. I kind of binged it. I never finished it, but I mean, I probably got through 10 episodes and I actually enjoyed what I saw, mostly because I had not watched Discovery because I couldn't get past like the first 5 minutes of Discovery. So not seeing Spock on that helped. But Spock, I hate the Spock. I prefer the Quentin, what's his name?
Zachary Quinto.
Zachary, yeah, his version of Spock more than this.
Well, I was reading, I don't remember whose site I was looking at, saying this Spock isn't modeled after Leonard Nimoy. Well, thank you. No kidding.
Yeah.
Shocking news from the Paramount Studios. Yeah, like I said, my problem, and it's the problem you have with a lot of shows like this, and I think we've discussed this at least at some level before, when you're going back and you're looking at a period like the original series, you at least got to put the effort into make it look. You have to dial back your desire for shiny, flashy objects. Go back to that original set design. It was there for a reason. If you want to update displays, whatever, fine. But that bridge that we all know so well is the bridge that it should be on Enterprise. And well, it's a different timeline, blah, 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 whatever. That's fine. What do your audience numbers look like? I mean, are they amazing? Are they killer? Are they beating down the doors for your next episode? I don't know. I know that as a Star Trek fan, a lifelong Star Trek fan, that I am not. So,
see, I even have my little
your plush Spock. See, even he's disappointed in this. And
yeah, he is.
That's not me. That is not a good representation of who I am. Yeah.
It's not going to get any better either. I mean, hopefully the strike will go on for a long time.
That's all we can hope. I know, and I saw that Discovery, and I actually almost bit through my tongue when I saw it. It has another season coming.
I heard that, Dan. The Spacebook said it was canceled, but then I saw that there's like a 6th season. I don't really care.
For some strange, bizarre reason, they are doing another season of Discovery.
See, and what makes me angry is when they do the promotional work, they usually have the Berman character a lot bigger than Kirk.
Well, she's like riding on top of a starship that's going warp speed.
Like I said, I only
That
seen
seems
5 minutes of
completely
it. I
legit.
couldn't get through it.
I know I've seen I think I saw, maybe it was the first episode. I've seen an episode of Discovery and that was enough. And again, and people are like, well, you didn't watch the series, so you don't know. Well, here's the thing. When
I don't have
enough
to look
of
at a
us,
Playboy to know it's garbage.
well, when enough of us, when enough of our community, people who are like-minded, yes, we do differ from time to time, but such an overwhelming response to a thing, do I, good or bad? Do if it's good, it's like, okay, I guess I should probably check that out because this is something that there is a buzz about with our folk. Or if they're going, why don't you save your time, the precious moments on this earth for anything else? And it's like, okay, I get it. There's a lot of good stuff out there. It's funny though, it almost nothing good seems to get the buzz that the bad stuff does. And I think that's because there's a lot more bad stuff to get the buzz about.
Well, I told Gary that I really am in the mood to rewatch the first season of the Orville. Because I mean,
I've never seen Orville. I know. I've never seen
Orville. You should.
I've heard it's good.
It really has the Star Trek feel to it.
You know what I wish had a Star Trek feel to it, Father? Star Trek. Oh, it's a strange time to be alive, to be around our age. When you saw the things that we saw back in the early 80s and in the late 70s, and now seeing the strange journey that those things have come from Search for Wrath of Khan to Michael Burnham. And
I remember as a kid, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, was the one that I never really got to see all the way through. And I remember renting the book from the library and spending all night reading it. Oh, we got Father Sinatra here.
Hey, how you
doing? You made it. Roman, have you met Father Sinatra before?
I have not. Hello, Father Sinatra.
Hello. How are you?
So Father usually joins me on Sundays when we've done this stream, and we were just together 2 weeks ago.
Yes, and I now am on vacation, so at an undisclosed location.
And you got a fan in the chat. So we were just bashing Star Trek the musical.
I was thinking about this because you had kind of given me a little bit of a primer. I think what a lot of things are trying to do, or a lot of shows are trying to do, is they're trying to recreate the cult following of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and her musical episode, which is, in my humble opinion, fantastic. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed that one.
It's probably been 30 years probably 25 years since I've seen Buffy.
And the big thing is that on the last day of Comic-Con in San Diego, when I used to go to those types of things, there's a special room that they play that episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that's the last thing of the convention before they shut it down.
So just to let you know, Roman is from Southern California, from that area.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I'm in the belly of the beast, so to speak. So I haven't done a con though since 2019 was the last of my going to the con.
I think that was me also. 2019, 2018, something like that.
I was there then too. I was there as well.
So, but it just got so different. It became different. Let's just put it that way. It became very different in its focus, and it just wasn't fun anymore. I mean, I don't need to be preached to. I just want to enjoy my comics and let me celebrate the things that are important to me. That's all.
Well, I understand this year was actually supposed to be pretty good. I was kind of sad I didn't go just because people saying there were a lot more folks just around. No one was waiting by a hall because none of that stuff was going on. And it
Mhm.
got back to just kind of the nerds being nerd stuff. You know, I wasn't there, so I can't say firsthand, but that was the feedback I was getting from the folks who went.
So I gotta show this one. That
You-
is a 179 or 173, I think
Nice.
it is.
Did you get that in
Thank-
New York?
No, I got that in South Dakota. When I went up to North Dakota to take a class this summer, I stopped at a comic store in Sioux Falls, and I had a gift card I had to use. There was one of the stores up there, so I went there and I spent $14 on that comic that I didn't have to pay for.
Always
But
nice.
but you know, and Miss Martin's in the chat. So if you want to join us, Miss Martin, I sent you the link. This will be the third stream I showed this on. But this is what I picked up in New York,
Oh wow.
the graphic
Nice.
novel. And
Ooh.
again, I'm just showing the artwork is amazing.
I actually came to a very, very sad moment in my comic book collecting. I talked to my twin brother, whose name is, yes, Frank Sinatra. And we have decided to stop.
I think you told me that.
Stop collecting current comics. We're still involved in getting stuff. But you know what? Oh, that's cool.
Man, that is beautiful.
I really love Saga. I think that's a great comic. I know it's a little risque and I probably shouldn't be reading it, but I just love the writing. I think it's very, very good. So, but
Well, I don't know. No, I didn't tell Father Sinatra since I haven't seen him since, because I think I got together with you the first day at the shore.
right.
I
Mhm.
did visit Midtown Comics.
And you said you were disappointed.
I was not impressed. I mean, if you want to get modern comics, that would be the place to go. And that graphic novel is the only thing I picked up there. And I wanted to, you know, get a souvenir from New York City from Midtown Comics. That's my souvenir. And I enjoy it. I mean, the graphics in the book are really good. The story's good.
Mhm.
I went through it in a few days.
Now, Roman, what are you reading right now? What are you collecting right now?
I collect everything. I'm an all around nerd though. So I collect albums, I collect action figures, clearly. I haven't done comic book collecting as a regular hobby in a very, very long time though. So my ISOM 2 just showed up.
Mine's coming next week, I think.
And then I got Jupiter from Jason Sandberg, another indie, you know, private funded things. So these things pop up and I wonder, you know, these people come across my path in the interwebs. I'm like, yes, I'd like to support that person to try to, you know, because the big houses, and that's, I mean, we probably stopped collecting for similar reasons. The big houses are not bringing books that I find interesting. Teresa, how are you?
Good to see you.
Hey, Father. Hey, Father. And hi, Roman.
Father Roman. Yeah.
The Roman Father.
Roman fathers.
See, and that was the funny thing. Ian talks about the first time I met him. He didn't believe I was a priest because he didn't know any priests that were nerds.
Oh, there's lots there in America.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot in the seminary. The other one, Roman, have you seen Firefly?
I'm aware that it exists. No, I haven't seen it. I know. I've missed out on a lot of the quintessential latter half of nerd culture stuff. I know.
I haven't seen Firefly either. If it makes you feel any better, so.
It does actually. I'm not alone out
I'm
there. It's not
surprised
just
at you because I know Kakali and a few of my other brothers.
Killer loved it.
And I got to be careful because I am almost doxing myself right now.
No, don't do that. So
that's okay. You know, I posted the on Twitter last year. I posted the Meghan Markle, the Cut magazine cover, and a few people took it a little too crazy, and I got like some nasty comments. It's like, what diocese are you from? You should be ashamed of yourself. It's like, I didn't even present. I think I put a clown thing on it.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
mean,
Anywho,
Yeah.
so
I try to be careful. Like I said, I'm trying not to associate my diocese with this, because this is something I'm doing for fun. It's not associated with my diocese or my school that I teach at. I'm just trying to have fun with this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I throw out a disclaimer whenever I talk about the Navy, so it's the same. It's similar, not quite the same. I know. Man of war, man of God.
Yeah.
Speaking
So
of war,
if
I've talked. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh,
Because
I was just oh, sorry. I don't know who he told. Well, I was gonna
ladies
say,
first. Ladies first.
I didn't talk about being a teacher until I was out of a contract, because it's because of a lot of these reasons, because people can find you and can ruin your life. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, and
So now no
you
can
know,
hurt me because
honestly,
I'm not in a contract.
I don't know why I try hiding it, because I was on Az's chat stream last night. He saw me and he called me out by my name.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it's only in the last year I really did away with my first name and the handle, and whatever.
Whatever. It is.
Anybody
it is
wants
what
to
it
find
is.
you, it's not hard. I mean,
It is what it is. So we're talking about, of course, the Strange New Worlds, and they did a couple things, right? They did a Lower Decks kind of crossover,
that
bizarre.
show's horrible.
and then and then of course the musical episode, which we were talking about, and Chrysanth
So,
was saying how much
Father,
she does love the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Do we
Father,
have a?
did you see the clip I played earlier?
No, I did not.
Okay, I want to show. I got to play this again, because this is what I thought when I saw the picture. It's only 8 seconds. I mean, that's what's going through my mind as I see that picture.
See, that messes up two things for me, though, and I didn't realize until you played it the second time around. Thanks for that, by the way, Father. So, Star Trek on its own, of course, but then I forgot that they dragged that poor gal from The Expanse into this disaster, and now they've got her out there like a performing chimp. And I loved her on The Expanse. The Expanse is one of my favorite, minus the last season, sci-fi programs. And it's just like, oh, no, not her too. But there she is, dancing monkey.
So, do we have like an episode that might be a little off kilter, or at least away from the norm of a sci-fi series that we love? That it's a better example of being creative than a musical episode. Were you talking about something like that? Well,
we were actually just a couple minutes ago. We were talking about the Naked Time. Naked Time is a great example, and directly in
Naked
Star
Time?
Trek of having the drunk episode.
right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is a perfect example of going an odd direction in, like I said, especially in Star Trek. And I was talking about Supernatural, which always was tongue in cheek anyway, but they would have a once a year weird episode. Sometimes they met Scooby-Doo once. It was fun. You knew it was coming, but it's not Star Trek. Star Trek, even when you're making the left turn, you still have boundaries that you should work within. That's me. But I am one for structure. But like other shows, well, like the X-Files. The X-Files had the funny element of the lone gunman. I think there was actually a lone gunman episode where it was just the three guys running around, and you could qualify that as a similar kind of thing. Anytime you take the familiar and make it just a little different, now you've got that clever episode. But a song and dance episode, that's just, hey, how far can we push this? Oh, the line is back there. You just went straight over it into another state, and now you're a fugitive. That's what they did with this. That's just me. I'll sit here.
Speaking of which, I saw that Back to the Future is now a Broadway show.
Oh.
And from what I saw, the New York Post review, it's horrible.
Well, it won't last long. They're trying to look. What is it that like? Okay, I understand nostalgia. I am nostalgic by nature. hey, when you're part of a church that's over 2,000 years old, there's going to be a little bit of nostalgia that you have to be connected to, regardless of the natural and the divine law. But that's a different conversation for a different day. And I get it that there's these things that happen from the past that we want to rekindle. Like,
Mhm.
and my youth, like I loved the remake of the 18. I really did. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was, hey, I got low standards. What can I say? Right?
Yeah.
And I thought the reboot, the first episode of Star Trek, that reboot movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good. So, but come on, come up with new ideas. Come up with new ideas. Like that's
Well,
why
that was the thing. The Orville was a good example of this
Right.
because it had the Star Trek feeling, but it was totally new storyline.
And they understood, they found the balance eventually of between humor and drama. And I haven't watched it, but I've seen enough YouTube stuff that I'm very intrigued. I'm intrigued. So, I don't know. Like
Like I
John
said,
Wick. John Wick is a perfect example, right?
I
Love-
watched it on the plane.
I haven't watched it yet. We started watching it. My mom's like, no, we can't watch this right now. Okay. All right. My mom doesn't like the bang, bang, boom, boom explosion stuff. My
You
dad
need the
and I
little
do.
brain matter flowing here and there.
Exactly. But yeah, John Wick is a standard action trope, right? Retired assassin, found love, love taken away, goes on rampage, kills bad guys, comes back in. Right? That's okay. It's not original, but it's creative. It's creative. I remember I was recovering from heart surgery. I have a artificial heart valve. My aortic valve gave up the ghost in 2017. So my dad, I was in recovery at my mom and dad's, and I was watching it with my dad, right? And it was John Wick 2. And John Wick goes to the Continental in Rome, right? And the guy who's in charge of it says, Jonathan, I have but one question for you. Anything. Tu sai qui per il Santo Padre. Are you here for the Holy Father? He's like, no. He's like, oh, grazie. It hurts so bad to laugh.
I guess I
because,
didn't notice that one.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Are you here for the Holy Father? No, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah. I love John Wick.
My
I
dad
think it's
missed the
great.
subtitles. I started crying, laughing. I explained it to him afterwards. So,
Nice.
but they
No, I
can make
watched-
movies like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I watched the fourth movie on the plane. Going to Philly, I caught the first 30 minutes, and then leaving Philly, I caught the rest of it. I skipped 20 minutes because I wanted to make sure I got it before I landed. And it was 20 minutes. I didn't miss much in 20 minutes. It was one of the fight scenes that just went on and on.
Oh.
So I mean, it's like I didn't miss much for the plot.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the new one yet. But
me either.
yeah, I like just missed the boat, but when I heard how long it was, I don't think it needed to be that long.
Like I said, it could easily cut 20 minutes and be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't see it in the theater either. It's like I was telling Roman, I don't want to see Oppenheimer in the theater just because I don't want to sit there 3 hours for the movie and then another half hour probably of previews.
Yeah.
Last thing I did that for was The Lord of the Rings, and I'm not going to do that for anything less.
Oh, that's a real shocker, Teresa. That's so shocking.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, now
No, I
that we've
did
roasted
for-
Star Trek,
Well, yeah, but you can go on. I mean, there's a lot of Star Trek to roast. You can go on for that for some time. Just like I said, and the fact that Discovery is getting another season.
Oh,
is,
dear.
that
I find that remarkable.
yeah, but they gotta get through the strike first.
Well,
True.
I hope the strike just goes on forever.
I think the writers have a good shot at breaking why am I blanking on it? The studios. That's what I was looking for. I think they've got a really good shot. I think they really have a good shot. So, But
I mean, you look at all the YouTube content that's out there right now. I mean, I got the whole Wild 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 West binge. I have the complete set. I'm partway through season 6 of Dallas, watching it for the first time since it was on.
Yay! I love Dallas. Jock Ewing.
Such an idiot. And
I got
Miss
nothing
Ellie is adult.
Yeah, but I love some of his lines. Don't let the B turds get you down. That's what my dad used to always tell me all the time. As a teacher, just remember what Jock Ewing used to say, and well, maybe something to think about. Power isn't something you're given; it's something you take. Which probably isn't very Christian, but
Well, there's a lot on Dallas that's not exactly Christian.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they're not they're not people to emulate.
no.
However, it was a cool line. Bobby was whining.
Does anybody watching the Justified
No.
whatever it is?
My dad is. My dad's
I
watching
love
it.
Justified, the original series. I loved it so much. It is just one of my favorite series, and it from beginning, and it
was
had
so
just
cool.
a brilliant.
It was so
ending.
cool.
The new Justified City Primeval. Episode 1 I didn't like. Episode 2 I thought was okay, so I gave it a chance with an episode 3, which I didn't like, and then we stopped watching. I was disappointed. It went, in my opinion, kind of the way that most of these things go when you try to bring them back. You see flashes of the old brilliance, but it's just the modern. And I know this was based on Elmore Leonard again, but I did not like the take. And his daughter is in the show. It's his actual daughter. It's Timothy Oliphant's daughter, Vivian, I think her name is. This again is just me, and this is the way I feel about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Though kids destroy everything. If they're in a movie, it's terrible. If they're in a show, it's terrible. Kids, unless it's designed to be a program built around kids, and that's fine. But if you interject one into it where there wasn't one before, it usually brings the level of the program film down. I don't like Temple of Doom. I know a lot of people love Temple of Doom. I don't like Temple of Doom. But with his daughter, she's not a very good. Remember Sofia Coppola in Godfather 3?
Oh, you do no, just what was
Same lack of acting ability. I mean, it's not her fault. Someone said, "Hey, Tim, why don't you bring your daughter in on this? She's 15, right?" Yeah, that sounds
I'm
like a
going to
great
bring up.
idea.
You mentioned kids. It got me thinking of this thing I posted once.
Oh my.
Oh, see, funny. That was like the thing you posted for Snow White with the face hugger. Oh, that brought me some.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dear.
Well, I'll show you
there were
the.
a lot of good laughs around the table of the Empire with that.
So let me show the thing I'm asking my students. I know if you saw it on Twitter, I am going down that road. I'm going to try to get it from the mouth of the youth. Let me bring it up. Here we go. This is my little student survey I'm asking. And we'll focus on the bottom question.
Yes, absolutely. Positively.
The kids will probably wonder what the heck's going on, but
That's hilarious.
I'm doing a little experiment.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Only one
hysterical.
right answer.
That's hysterical.
So we actually start school next week.
Ugh.
We got our first back to school faculty meeting tomorrow. I'm
Oh,
actually
I'm so sorry.
excited.
Well, I know
I
you
really am
are. I
excited.
know you love that stuff. I know you do.
What's tomorrow?
Well, you
Is
don't
tomorrow
have to
Monday?
do full
Tomorrow's
time. Like
Monday.
you don't have to be out there doing car line duty for an hour in
Well,
the
that
115
too, but
degrees
you know,
sun.
I actually hope I might be able to after this year. Because I mean, there are a few priests that do full-time teaching. So, and Justin's in the chat. So, Justin, the link is still good if you want to join us. So we'll see if he does.
I always show up for the first day of school usually in the car line greeting the kids coming in. So
I've been so after the masses today, I was telling the kids how many days till the first day of school. It's like it's almost here.
I'm
sure
just
they
trying
were
to enjoy my
thrilled.
my vacation still.
Can you say where you're at?
I am in a location down the Jersey Shore somewhere. So
It's not in Hawaii for once.
yeah, that was so awesome. It was so awesome because like the timing was right. My first time in Hawaii, and we had our first Saturday Faith and Fantasy, and so they're like, "Father, why can't we see you?" I said, "Because it's early in the morning here, and I'm in Hawaii." And Father Miller kicked me off the street.
I forgot about that. I'll tell you, I just have not had time to do. I wanted to do a Faith and Fantasy stream. I just have not had time. I know everybody's been busy.
Oh, absolutely.
I haven't streamed with the rabbi this summer. I haven't had time. I mean, for us, the bigger thing is the time change. Because right now it is. Let me see what it is.
It's sometime.
It's 3:30 in the morning in Jerusalem. I don't think you can make it right now.
Oh
Right.
my. Wait, is he always in Jerusalem or is he just
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, he lives in Jerusalem. Well, he's in Israel. He's in Israel.
Yeah. Okay. I did not realize that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be
He's
darned.
British originally, but he is a rabbi in Israel.
Wow.
So, but when the new Doctor Who comes out, I will have to try to
yeah.
move heaven and earth to get it.
I still haven't finished the Capaldi, the Capaldi episodes.
Don't.
And
Yeah, that last season was not
Painful.
wasn't good. The season with Billy, season 10, was it season 10?
Have I told you that I'm a lesbian, Bill?
10?
What?
Yeah, that was
Might have
10.
been 10. Yeah, it
That
was
was
10.
10.
I'm trying to
Bill the
get my-
lesbian.
I'm old. Yeah. Well, of course, that was that was the BBC in the checkbox writing, which I don't think we are very far from if we aren't getting it already. I mean, it certainly seems like we are. Where you have to have this and this and this and this and this, and now you can put your show out. Okay, but what about the plot? Well, don't worry about the plot. That's not important, clearly. But I thought season 10 was the first one that was really under that thumb as far as the writing went. You could see, I mean, between season 9, which I enjoyed, and season 10, which I did not, there was a drastic shift in the tone of the show.
Which is a
And
shame because Capaldi
Yes.
is a good guy. I mean,
and he's racked with the fact that he feels like he let Doctor Who and the fans down.
Oh,
that's not his fault.
that's the writing.
No. He was brilliant. He's actually him and Tom Baker. I have to say, it depends on the day. They're my favorite doctors.
So has anybody seen The Thick of It?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's his first show that he was in where he plays basically kind of like the henchman for the British government. I can't play any of the clips on here because there's a lot of no words.
Mm.
But that's what introduced me to Peter Capaldi, and I was so excited when he was announced to be the Doctor, and I was hoping he'd go tell Dalek what to do with itself because he uses that word a lot.
You know, go ahead, Tom.
No, you please.
No, you first. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
talked
I never saw Capaldi before Doctor Who.
Well, he was in Doctor Who before Doctor Who.
No, yeah, no. In
The Fires of Pompeii.
The Fires of Pompeii. But I didn't realize it was him until after the show. And I was like, oh, that's the guy. But yeah, I hadn't seen him in all the clever British stuff that he had done previously.
It's almost like it's the first run of Doctor Who all over again. You know, they've had all this wonderful writing, all this development, all this fan fervor, and then by the time it gets to Sylvester McCoy, who wasn't his fault either, right? It felt the writing fell apart, and then they took it off, and I think we're almost at the same point here.
Yeah,
we are.
Well,
you consider that the new run has run almost as long as the original run.
Right.
Because I think the original run went off in 86, was it? So from 1963 to 1986. We're now 2005 to 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next season will bring. It's not like new Star Trek where you know pretty much what you're going to get. This one, I really don't know. I think I know ultimately what we're going to get, but I'm one of those morons that still has my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that it's not what the S show I think it's going to turn into. I know we're going to get those, the David Tennant episodes. And how accurate are they going to be for the tone of the show moving forward?
Yeah,
I
but
think
consider
probably.
who's playing Rose.
No, I know.
The guy
Yeah.
that's playing Rose.
I know.
It's over for me. I like to think that it ended with Matt Smith sometime in there. Yeah.
It's
I
just a shame, like that. Like,
Well,
Um,
it is.
Well, because they could be printing money. They could be printing money for the next 30 years if they just. But we all
Yeah.
know, it's the mantra we keep saying over and over again because it's true. It's that they're not interested in storytelling anymore.
Right.
Well, I mean that last, if you want to call it a season, the Flux thing was an attempt, but it wasn't even really good.
No, they're
So,
they're sterile.
but I don't think there's a
Yes.
release date, is there?
Ooh, I don't think so. Let me look. I don't believe so, though. I think you're right.
Yeah,
I thought it was like October that we're getting the 60th anniversary. I think. But even now, even though that shouldn't get affected by any of the Hollywood.
that was my
showing.
question: is that like
Yeah.
the SAG and all of that? Does that affect British writing at all?
I think there is a different contract, if I am not mistaken, for the folks who are working over in UK. So a lot of things, even like HBO or Max, whatever productions that are filming over there are still filming over there because different contract stuff.
Oh,
That's what I heard.
let's see. We have Justin here.
Hello, Justin.
And we
Goodbye,
lost.
Justin.
Brief appearance.
He cometh, he leaveth. He's a man of mystery.
Well, it says device is not connected, so I don't know. We'll see if he joins or not. So much for the reactor charged.
Turbines
Oh.
to speed. Yeah, that's so funny.
Can you get to warp?
Yeah, that's for Batman. That's Batman,
Yeah, it's like-
the original series.
So I got to see if I can bring up the. Ian showed me this coming out, the retirement plan
Yes.
with Nick Cage. That
He's
looks
got a
really
couple
good.
movies coming out. I wandered across both of those today.
Well,
This
don't play
looks funny. It looks like I actually like the direction that Nick Cage has taken.
I think my parents are in some kind of trouble.
Oh, Ashley's in trouble. What is it this time?
Oh, let's see.
Get on that flight and do not come back without my hard drive.
Purpose for your visit?
Pleasure. Lay low for a few minutes. Welcome to the island. I'm losing my patience. Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
I just got out of here with my life. Did you shoot me?
I guarantee you there's more men that are already coming. They will not stop until we are all dead.
Come on, Ashley.
Good to see Cat and Philly.
Don't make it.
Who are you?
The old guy, he keeps killing everybody. Everybody.
Ernie Hudson.
Who is
Yeah,
this?
nice to see him back.
My dad's an assassin, isn't he?
Your dad's totally an assassin. Here, have some more syrup, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that's coming out. I don't know where, if it's going to be a streaming movie, but it looks good.
Yeah, I got back-to-back Nick Cage trailers. It was Sympathy for the Devil, where he is. Who else is in the? Oh, it's Joel Kinnaman from Suicide Squad, first season of Altered Carbon. Tall dude. Played Colonel Flag. Did you see Suicide Squad?
No.
Father?
I
did,
thought
I
that
did,
I
I did. Yeah.
blocked
Okay.
it out.
Well, Colonel Flag, the guy who played Colonel Flag, he's in a lot of stuff. He doesn't just play Colonel Flag. He was in that series. What was it? The Killing? With the dwarf from the dwarf lady. She's not actually a dwarf. The really short lady, Eowyn from Lord of the Rings. She played a cop, a mini cop, and he was like her less than cool partner. It was a brilliant show though. Anyway, so he's trying to go to the hospital. His wife's having a baby, and Nick Cage is clearly some kind of psychopath, deranged. But he's dressed very nicely. And he kidnaps Joel, whose last name in the movie I don't know. And he's like, and they go off and it looks like a not very good night for the one dude. It looks interesting. So after Nick Cage did that one movie where he played himself,
What on earth? Oh, no, that's not okay.
Not the bees.
Well, let me see if I can find the other one.
Oh goodness. What was the where he played himself, and he was
Right.
with Pedro Pascal, who I don't like
Yeah.
as a person, but I enjoy as an actor. I thought that movie was a lot of fun, and it just seems like he's just kind of going on this path now. What is this?
It's also from The Wicker Man.
Oh, okay. It's just like him on vacation. You never know.
No, but this is probably one of my favorite parts.
Oh my goodness! That's terrible.
That's awesome.
That's all right.
That bear
No, I was
was
going to
bad.
ask. So, have you seen Knowing with Nick Cage?
Yeah, I have.
That's actually
I
a really
enjoyed
good movie. Basically, end of the world type thing, aliens. I mean, it's a bunch of hooey, but it's still for end of the world type apocalyptic
I
movies.
thought it
It's
was
pretty
good.
good.
Wasn't like brilliant cinema, but it was very entertaining.
No, but it was still enjoyable.
Like most of Nick Cage's films, many are largely forgettable. I will see where these couple end up in this. Like I said, this kind of post superstar Nick Cage era, where he's just kind of settled into doing. That looks fun. I'm going to do that. That looks weird. I'm going to do that.
Wasn't there like a
Supposedly
YouTube? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, supposedly there's supposed to be a sequel to Face Off.
Oh heavens!
There's a YouTube video where there's like a fake Nick Cage and they talk to and this one you're going to be an Indian shaman. I'll take it. Like gives them plot after movie after movie after movie.
Sounds
And it
good.
just sounds good. You know what I saw with my brother and his family that I've been waiting to see because I'm just that type of nerd. I watched Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
I've heard good things though. I heard it wasn't anything like what the Hollywood people were selling you. It was actually an entertaining film. I haven't gotten there. It's free now though on I think Amazon. I believe it is free to watch on Amazon now.
Okay, but I just really enjoy, as somebody who plays Dungeons and Dragons on a regular basis, that it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I didn't think you needed to know how to play the game or the ins and outs to really enjoy it. So
that's cool. I saw Renfield. Speaking,
How
of
was
Nick
that?
Cage.
I wanted to see that.
I
know it's not Best Picture.
It's not. It has a lot of very fun parts. It's not a great movie. It's not a great movie. I can't sell it as a great movie. It's a pretty entertaining movie. It's got parts that are a lot of fun. It's got some stuff that's just like, okay, whatever.
So Justin, the fifth member of our panel, who I will be channeling, I guess, says D&D was very good.
I've heard good things about it, actually.
No, I didn't hear like all the nerd folk that we follow. I don't think anybody had a bad thing to say about it.
Mhm.
Everybody was punching the PR guys who put out all the kind of misinformation about it, which was weird. I mean, you'd think you want people to come to your movie. Why would you say these things?
Mhm.
But whatever. And as far as Renfield goes, wait for it to be free. Wait for that part, and
It
then
will. It'll end up on Tubi.
Yeah, I rented it for like $5 or $6, and I was okay with that.
I'll tell you the one that I've been wanting to see is the Venture Brothers movie, and the
I'm
Best
not
Buy here
familiar
does
with
not
the
have
Venture
it.
Brothers.
The Walmart does not have it. I mean, it just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I
I,
got nothing.
I mean, I know of the Venture Brothers. I know, the kind of the mocking of Johnny Quest and all that kind of stuff. So
It's alive.
welcome back.
Excellent.
He looks like Max
He made
Hedren.
it.
I am using a system that was built for me by a friend back in 2012 because I'm cheap and I won't buy a new computer because I do everything at work anyway. Hi, how's everybody going?
Good to see you.
Hey,
I'm sorry I'm so big, but to sit near the mic, there's nothing going on right now. I was not prepared.
it's a little disturbing. I'm not going to lie. A little disturbing.
D&D was very good. There's one moment in that film where I am literally on the ground laughing. The
I
part
know.
where
At the end,
the spellcaster messes up the spell and he's just glitching and glitching and glitching
Right,
and
right,
glitching,
right,
and
right.
then he just starts going crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That'd be a good one to show.
and I like the end scene where the owl bear attacks the red wizard. Is she dead?
Yeah, the fight at the end was pretty good. I mean,
It was very
I mean,
good.
I've played D&D, and I can't say I'm like an expert that it was like all lore specific and perfect and correct, but all in all, it was just a good movie. I thought it was entertaining. There was nothing put in front of you that you had to worry about, that would distract you from the story of the movie. It was just good.
The only thing that was off is that druids cannot wild shape into monsters.
Well,
And
that's
owl
just nitpicky.
And then I'm just saying, owl bears, and I play a druid from time to time. Owl bears are monsters. You can't wild shape in. Would I love to wild shape into an owl bear? Yes. And now you can clip that. Father Rob Sinatra
That's interesting because my
wants to
daughter they just put
wild
a
shape
character
into
today, and I said, "Be a druid. You can be an owl bear." So apparently they got that wrong. Sorry, Dylan. Apparently druids can't wild shape right away or something. I don't know. She's an
not
expert.
till second level. Not till second level. And pick a circle of the moon. Trust me, read up on it. You'll be fine.
I'll let her know.
Sorry, I speak in a
So,
language that not
Roman-
many people understand.
Justin owns a comic. Well, he works at a comic book store back
I
home.
volunteer unofficially at a comic book store for paper money that can't be tracked digitally.
Interesting.
So, is there any news in comics?
Because my wife is my sugar mama, and I don't have to have a real job.
Oh, cool.
Everybody gets quiet when I say that.
Wow, you're lagging.
Okay, let me say it the other way.
I was gonna
I
say-
gave up any chance at a career so that she could have one that went to the moon, and now she's an executive. She makes more zeros than I have ever seen, and I get to wear this hat. So
That's a fair trade-off.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think so.
Nothing would
why you
win
guys
there.
are so quiet.
I don't know. I
Oh,
said it was
just listening
cool.
to
I
you.
mean, hey, take your money where you can. It's every man for himself.
So,
Well, it's
Justin,
got
how does it
for
feel
her.
to
It's got
be
its
a Ken?
drawbacks.
How does
She
it
went in
feel
today to
be a
catch up
Ken
on
in
some
the
work.
Barbie world?
Sorry. Say that again.
How does it feel to be a Ken in the Barbie world?
I'm a very manly. I'm the GI Joe from that Nissan commercial. Remember that one back in the '90s where he rides the Ferrari into Barbie Dreamhouse. She comes on down and Ken's crying in the corner as he drives away with his girl. It's more like that.
Nice.
Totally.
Is there any GI Joe project coming up anytime soon that you're aware of?
So at the end of the Transformers movie, spoiler alert, but it's streaming now, so too bad. There is a straight up GI Joe referenced. He gets a business card. It says GI Joe. They proposition him to join the team. And so this Hasbro has this thing where if you have the G.I. Joe license, you also have to have the Transformers license. It's like a package deal. And I know that Image Comics just took that over, and they got Daniel Warren Johnson doing the Transformers comic, which comes out in, I want to say October, I think. And they're doing a Duke comic and a Cobra Commander comic, and their Image is trying to bring this brand back to life. And Hasbro's putting, I mean, thank the Lord, they're putting something behind G.I. Joe. I mean, the new classified action figure series, I'm a nerd, I buy all the toys and stuff too. That has so much support right now. They've got over 100 different figures. Yeah, my man right back there. I see you. And they just, they seem like they're actually putting something behind the brand. Maybe they realize that this is what people want. We want soldiers and guns and cool toys and stuff. And you know, I'm all for it. It's been a while. I mean, I was a huge fan of the 25th anniversary line that slid sideways and went away like in 2010, and we've been in this little fog of nothing for Joe fans, maybe a little bit here and there, but they relaunched the same 6 figures and then they would stop, and they'd relaunch the same 6 figures and something else and then they would stop. This time they're putting money behind it, so I'm excited about that. And the movie looked good. I was just watching Transformers earlier today before I had to go run honeydew errands.
Yeah. Well, I've been excited about the new Conan thing that Titan Comics is doing. That their first issue was fantastic. Yeah, so there's some.
Yeah,
really
I
good
just read
comics
that. It was
coming out.
great.
Yeah.
It looked like the old one, didn't it? Like it looked like
Yeah.
the old style.
Yeah, it was a straight out Savage Sword of Conan.
There's another one you might check out. Yeah,
Oh, which-
there's another one that just came out the same week called Fire and Ice, which was based on an old movie that was inspired by Frank Frazetta, but it's also fantasy, witches, wizards, that kind of thing. And I grew up with the movie. It was so much fun to watch. And this is the first time in since that movie came out in 82 or 84 that they've done a comic book for it.
Yep. Well, I am already one step ahead of you. I bought that too. So yeah, I haven't read it yet. Yeah. So yeah, there's some good stuff out there.
It's a prequel to the movie.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
realize
really?
That.
Like Conan the Barbarian?
Oh no, the Fire and Ice.
Well, no.
Oh,
the Fire and
I'm
Ice
like,
comic.
Wait, what? Okay. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But
So if
now I
you watch the
understand.
movie
I'm
in
back.
the very, yeah. Well, if you watch the movie, the main villain was a guy named Necron, and he was all powerful sorcerer and a little crazy. In the prequel comic, you meet his brother, and they explain where the Necron's dogs, which were like a group of race of people that were kind of mindless apes, but they knew enough to get things done. You find a little bit of history. One of the ladies tells her daughter about, they used to be a proud warrior race, and then they got corrupted and something happened, and they became, his dog soldiers or whatever. So it's got a good start. We'll have to see where it goes.
Nice.
I heard something about
still
Rose
waiting
is
for
being
the,
played by a dude in Doctor Who.
Yes.
Oh, hell.
Yes. Better subject. I'm still waiting for the Buckaroo Banzai sequel.
Is that a thing?
Oh, I
No,
got
but
something for you. So,
Oh,
okay,
I
didn't know
you're gonna
that
like
was a
this.
thing.
You're gonna like this. I'm going to Fan Expo this next weekend. Peter Weller is going to be there. Now, I don't have $100 RoboCop #1, but I found at one of my fellow shops in town, Buckaroo Banzai movie adaptation #1 for $5, and I'm having Peter
Oh,
Weller.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
He was Buckaroo
Very
Banzai.
cool.
And
Yeah.
I'm almost like Christopher Lloyd is also going to be there, and he played John Big Booty in Buckaroo
Booty.
Banzai. He's one of the
John
villains.
Big
Yeah, Big Booty. Big Booty. And he's
Right.
going to be there, but he wants like $150 for an auto, and I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen. But
Yeah, but he's
maybe. We'll have to
80.
see how I do. I got stuff on. Yeah, he's getting up there. But they have, if you look at Fan Expo Chicago right now, you're going to see a ridiculous list of celebrities. Okay, now this one you're going to love. If you guys remember the movie, does anybody remember the movie Megaforce? It was a terrible movie with
No, I don't think I've
vehicles
ever
with
seen
rocket
it.
launchers and stuff on them. They drove motorcycles. It was as B movie as it gets for the 80s. They tried to be like G.I. Joe. But Barry Bostwick was the star of that movie, and he is going to be at Fan Expo with Susan Sarandon. They must be doing something for Rocky Horror because they were both in Rocky Horror together. But I'm going to have my Wolverine #1, limited #1. On the back of that book is the full cover movie advertisement for Megaforce, and I'm going to have Barry Bostwick. I'm going to show that to him and hope that he signs it and doesn't throw me out because it'd be cool.
But the fact that you know that just means that you're a fanboy. So that'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
It's an interesting situation. It has to do with my dad and his connections to a video store. And as soon as they gave him free rentals after doing something for them, he bought 2 VHS machines and a whole bunch of blank tapes and pirated every movie he could get his hands on back in the 80s. And I'll tell you what, if you want to be OG fanboy, you need to know the movie Yor, Y-O-R. And if you've seen that movie, you have all my respect, because that thing is nuts.
Y-O-R? Can you still find it?
Y-O-R, Yor. It's got a pimp like opening song. It's a caveman who turns out he was actually a spaceman, and they end up making the cavemen make their way into a facility that's like all it's messed up. It's the 80s B movie. Everybody tried to capitalize on Star Wars and sci-fi. Not everybody was a hit. They tried real hard.
Mhm.
See, I'm looking for something for you, Justin. I think you'll get a kick out of this. Okay, here we go.
I had to put the hat on because
I got to put this on full screen for you, Justin.
Find out what's happening in Istanbul on any channel. Dave and Shay Thompson. What am I looking for here? Oh, Eastern
This is
Iowa.
from-
Oh, Dave and Shay. Okay, yeah. That's old. That's super old. Why do you
This
have
one
that?
is from, so there's an antique mall outside of Des Moines, Iowa. I've usually been stopping in. This one is from 1978, I think.
Wow.
I picked up like a bunch of these old TV guides, and the thing that's really been fun is looking at the old schedules, the old ads, and just trying to remember what I used to
Mhm.
watch as a kid.
We have one
Well,
that we've
there's
been trying to sell on eBay. Came with a collection. I'm sorry, Roman. Go ahead.
A TV guide?
Oh, it has the Nelson brothers on it. That's like the only one we've gotten. It's been sitting in our shop for a while.
This is 1976.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I only paid 1978. I'm
Is
sorry.
that Groucho?
No, Danny Thomas. $1.50.
Danny Thomas. Okay.
Yeah, I still got a bunch of X-Files and Star Trek.
I'm super excited
back when
about that
TV
book.
Guide was out then. I had all those. I still have them. They're my big comic book box.
Yeah, my mom keeps, because I have a lot of my comic books in the basement of my mother and father's house. And she's like, "What are you going to do something with all these?" I'm like, I don't know. I got to figure it out. Like when I say that I have at least 20
can
long
send them to
boxes
me.
worth.
And we buy comics. Just
I
saying.
know you do. I know you do.
We keep looking for old
So-
collections. It takes forever to get people to bring them in.
Justin, I gotta let you know, I just bought my first real omnibus. Superman Silver Age #1 coming out.
Ooh.
It's supposed to come out in
Ooh.
December.
So you're gonna say now. I've always joked those things are so heavy you needed a lectern to read
Yeah,
it.
they're-
Are you gonna sneak into the chapel and drop her down on the lectern because they weigh like 25 pounds?
No, I don't know, but the thing is,
Low
I-
and Superman
I'm
said to
realistic.
Superboy.
Well,
no.
I mean, there's no way I'm going to get a Superman 130 without paying an arm and a leg. So it's
No.
first time they
No,
have
the
it in
reprints are
color.
just as good.
So
There's a
the
couple
DC
good
app
facsimiles
really-
coming out.
Oh,
Am I
really?
delayed? Am I cutting over everybody?
Yeah, you are a little bit. Not too bad. Though.
My bad.
So what facsimiles?
Well, they just had Hulk 181 come out, and they've got a Amazing Spider-Man 300. First Venom is coming out soon. If you feel like giving Marvel money, I know it's a salty wound.
That's
I
what
have
I
to
feel
put
every
books on
time
the
I buy
shelves.
an
What do you want me to
action
do?
figure. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's not going to make a difference. More, yeah. Go ahead and
No,
buy
they
it.
don't look to the comic industry to make them any money whatsoever. It's just a tool to own their IPs. They have to keep. I think the rule is they have to keep printing books to continue to own the
Own the
intellectual
property.
properties.
Yep.
So they'll keep putting stuff out. I know the X-Men
Oh.
are finally getting the axe. Thank goodness.
Did you
They went way
see
too
for,
far.
for X-Men 97 fans, for what it's worth, they're releasing the entire line of X-Men 97 action figures. You can order them now.
Well, that's cool. I saw a
They're like
couple of those.
$24 each. They're good looking. I
Very-
don't have room currently, but it is a cool looking set. I asked Mrs. of the Empire, and she's like, "Really? Where are you going to put them?" I'm like, "If it's important, you find room, honey." Well, it's
in the
not
bedroom on
important.
your nightstand.
So
I hope you don't mind.
so I got the thumbs down, but I'm a little disappointed. But it's fine. There's always something coming in.
I know my brother and my sister-in-law aren't watching the stream right now, but I have a ton of my brother's Marvel Legends in gigantic Tupperware bins in my bedroom and at the rectory, because it's like I have to move them out of work where they need my workspace.
Oh,
And Donna can't know that I have.
What's this bill here for this storage unit I don't know about? That's nothing. It's nothing.
He pays cash, and that's why he gets it under the radar. So oh, there's no credit card bill for another $25 Marvel Legends. But they, Marvel Legends are cool. I like the way they're articulated and stuff, and they do have the neat idea of just putting it like a build a figure in different action figure cases, and then
I
put
was
something
picking those
together
up.
very cool.
Yeah, I was picking those up for a while because they were being offered through my store as a case, so I could buy a case and I'd get all the figures, and then I'd have all the parts for the Build-A-Figure. But then they started running out of characters because I wanted Bone Crusher really bad. That's the half tank guy that was a Reaver, but the figures in the set were, I was like, I don't know. I got so many other ones. I don't think I can take those now. I did pick up Firestar the other day. She was all by herself on the shelf, and I thought she felt lonely, so I brought her home. Because I was a huge Spider-Man Amazing Friends Saturday morning.
Spider-Man Amazing
yes,
Friends.
heck yes,
Oh, that
yes.
was so good.
It's something about redheads.
I had all of those on VHS, like we just taping them on a Saturday morning and just watching them. Like I had the one with the Avengers, with Captain America, and like they had all the other, like the X-Men one. That was
my
great.
favorite.
It was
the
great.
X-Men one was my favorite.
Yeah, no, I loved Firestar. It was so much.
I did the
fun.
same thing for G.I. Joe, but they were only on at like 6 a.m. on Sundays where I lived.
What? I am really excited that Miss Marvel is now an X-Man.
She
Wait,
didn't
what?
stay dead long.
I'm sorry. I got a little sick there.
I have never been shocked by comics in a long time, but she wasn't even. I mean, she wasn't even cold. And they rezzed her. I'm like, the Fallen Friend $9 comic book that was her funeral.
Is that what it
Everybody just
was?
went to her mosque. Yes, they went to her mosque to share memories with her family, and then she's alive 2 weeks later. The book's still on the shelf for for new price, and they're like, oh no, she's alive now. Oh well, then I guess this.
Well, they are desperately trying to get people excited for the Marvels. I don't know who these people are or what they're excited about, but
that's gonna be fun.
Like who's their target audience? And like
Nobody
what's the and how are they? What's their market research about? Like
also a good question. These are all good questions, Father. These are all excellent questions. Remember what we were talking about earlier, though. Things that you don't worry about anymore when you're filmmaking. That'd be writing and the plot. Those are second or third considerations. Having an all-female lead with a dead character, that's the best.
Her death was really good, though. I read that issue. It was a good death, as us Vikings say.
Yeah, I just don't. I so don't care about her character.
So can we set her on fire then? Put her on a boat, shove her off into the lake.
That would have been so much better.
You know that on the subject of 15-year-old female superheroes that Marvel has introduced in the last few years. I remember when they had announced that is it Riri Williams, Ironheart was going
Riri
to be,
Williams.
Yeah, she was going to show up in a movie. That comic took off, but as soon as that movie came out, the price dropped like a rock because her character was just thrown away. Not that I am in love with the idea that Marvel keeps creating these children superheroes. Like, oh, you're 15? Yeah, go out and fight, Thanos or whoever. Yeah, you'll be fine. Sure. We'll talk about your car, your driver's license.
They're derivatives. They are derivative characters with very limited exception.
Yeah.
That's all they're ever going to be.
They keep trying to replicate the Peter Parker thing, and it's never going to happen. And now they just introduced this Spider Boy, and I'm like, that's Peter Parker. It's not. It's just like, why can't we have Peter old with family and children? Why can't we do that?
I could not get through Black Panther 2. I could not get through it. I could not finish it. I
didn't even start it, Father. Stop.
Well, you want the Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man issue. I think it was 11 was her first appearance. And there's actually something funny with that. J. Scott Campbell is a very famous comic artist. He drew her kind of hanging out in her underwear, building the armor as kind of a hot cover.
Oh, I saw that. I
and
heard
Marvel's
about
like,
that.
you got to get rid of that. She's 15. He's like, oh, I'm very sorry. And they deleted the image. But that's J. Scott Campbell. He draws beautiful women. That's what he does.
Which series was it?
I'm looking for it right now. I'll tell you. Invincible Iron Man.
Probably.
I'll know it when I see the
2015.
cover. Looks like volume 2, 2015. I believe. Yes. First full appearance was issue number 9. It's still valued at $100 if you can find it mint in first print. She had a
Heavens,
cameo
you know that there's like
in 7.
There's like 20 something variants of
Well, don't
just
look at the
number
variants.
1.
You're getting close.
Getting dizzy.
You're getting real close. Right past the Mary Jane. Keep going.
Is that what it
never
was?
go past the
Or was
Mary
that 11?
Jane.
Well, that's the case. So 7 was the cameo. 11 is the first. That's it right there. That's her first appearance. Yeah. So some people still value it as a good appearance. I mean, her character wasn't a bad character, but it was just another. It was just another thing where they this girl reverse engineered Iron Man's armor. Okay, she's really smart, and now she's fighting Dr. Doom. Seriously?
Yeah. No, they're all brilliant, and they
Yeah,
all
no.
take on the big bad guy, which we go back to that lack of story arc. The hero's journey. She's smart. She doesn't need a hero's journey. That's just ridiculous.
Yep.
So semi-related though, I finally got to see Guardians 3. I loved it. I think
I cried 3 times during that movie.
I know. My family's sitting there. I've had a little bit to drink, and the tears are just flowing.
Dude, those animals. I was like, oh no, not the animals. And then what's funny? It got me was the part where he saw his granddad again.
At the end.
I was like, and then he says, I can't believe you want me to go over there and mow that kid's lawn while he sits on the porch and watches me. Like, that was perfect grandpa talk.
It was. Yeah, that movie was surprising because I didn't know. Is Gunn gonna give them the finger or the kiss goodbye? And he gave them the kiss goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
And I was really grateful for that.
He has a relationship. Really nice end. Yeah, those actors and they have a relationship. Like when they first kicked them off the movie, the word is the actors like, we ain't coming back. You bring James Gunn back or we're not coming back. And they twisted Marvel's arm. It's like, well, we can't lose Drax, Star-Lord, and everybody else.
No,
so
he made
a great movie.
So I don't know what to think. And I mean, the rest of you guys probably have your own thoughts on it as well, on James Gunn and the DCU. I have no idea what to expect out of this. Some of his decisions, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then he makes other decisions. I'm like, ooh, buddy, what are you doing there? I mean, but he hasn't disappointed me yet. That's the thing is James Gunn hasn't disappointed me yet. So I'm like walking out onto the frozen lake, hoping it doesn't crack and I fall through because it's been good so far, right?
As long as they let him do it and they don't get in his way.
They don't stick their fingers in the pie.
Because this is the same company that gave us Nicolas Cage as Superman and then decided to finally can that idea.
But they brought it back. It was just as good. They brought it back.
I hear he's getting a cover, by the way. Keep out for there's a Superman issue coming out with a Nicolas Cage on the cover.
I'm hoping
I might have to order that from
action
you.
figure.
I ordered a few, Chris. If I come across it, I'll hold on to it for you.
Thank you.
I'll hold on to it for you.
Because there's someone out there making Nick Cage heads for the McFarlane figures right now. I'm a member of a lot of weird groups on Facebook, and they're like, "Hey, if you want these, they're like $30 for a head." I'm like, I might buy a tiny Nick Cage head to put on one of my freaking 27 Supermans.
Okay, now that you just a quick question for you, Roman. Out of all of the action figures that are currently behind you,
yes,
which one is your favorite?
Which one is my favorite?
Or at least talk to me about one that's interesting.
Trying to find.
I'll put you on full screen.
I can only move so much here. I have. Can I even move to the? I know.
You got a Hulkbuster? I've always liked the Hulkbuster. Where's he at?
I do not. My son has one though, which sounds a little funny when I say it out loud like that. I think it is currently. Where the heck is it? I'm trying to not. You can't see. Of course, you can't see it very well. Which hand am I I think it's currently this Iron Man right here, which you can't see very well. So I've got a couple of new Iron Man figures in, and they've gone back to classic styling on them. So I threw him.
The Iron Man that's the Iron Man with the horn, with the horns on the mask.
Yes, it's the
I
pointy.
see that. I see that. Yeah, yeah,
oh my God, I saw it, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't come out with that again. So I had to get that. I'm not disappointed. Like the whole this section up here, the War Machine is that classic design. Of course, you can't see him because he's like behind the wall. But there's another Iron Man up here, another classic style. And then the weird Thor, which I liked, Harbinger of Galactus. And then that's the Extremis armor. Those are all like kind of new things that are in the collection. I'm a big Iron Man fan. So you asked me which is my favorite, though. It's like which is my favorite today.
Well, I got a good question
for you. Happy Meal, Father?
I did.
I know. I have the Captain America back on another shelf.
So, Roman, how did you feel when Iron Man 2 came out and all the stores over-ordered the first 2 waves and you couldn't get any of the military drone figures? Did you ever find those? Did you try to find those?
I did not try to get the drone figures. And there's a couple of reasons. One, I wasn't collecting at that point. This is all from
Shame.
When did I finish college?
Careful, you're on videotape. Someone related to you might see this.
2011 or so, I think, is when I finished college. But I had started, this used to be like a proper work desk where I had my computer and all my college piles of stuff. I'm V-chipping myself right now. But then I would like get a figure here and a figure there, but then I was done with school. And it's like, I got some space and I'm old now, so I have money. So over the last 12 to 13 years, I've just been buying a lot of stuff. I buy from eBay. Depends on nostalgia level and how available it is, but a lot of stuff, because I'm like deep nerd now, I'll find, I'm connected to the site, so it's like pre-order now. Okay, got it. So now I ordered some things for December already. They've got Old Man Daredevil that's going to be coming out in December. And I'm like, okay, I got to get that because it'll go nicely with my Old Man Hawkeye and Wolverine. I'm already mixing up characters in my brain, but I got that set. And it's like I haven't even read the books, but I'm okay with it because the figure looks cool. So I can abandon any care about the comic books at this point because I don't, and just go with what looks cool. So I know that may have been. I wandered way over here. Which favors your figure? I'm now in Idaho.
It's all encompassed in the nerddom. It's okay.
So I got stuff I haven't even unboxed yet back here. That's all part of the thing. So I got just boxes of stuff.
I want to share one thing because I don't think I was streaming at the time this happened, but I did have the greatest moment ever this year. Was I met the actual Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, he's still alive?
So yeah. So what happened was he didn't own his likeness, and this year or last year he finally got control over his name and his likeness. So he threw his license to everybody. They got official G.I. Joe figures that they haven't made since they made the exclusive convention one. I've got that. And then the pop, and this is his signature. He signed it in 3 different colors. And I also have his first appearance in his comic book, G.I. Joe 48 on my shelf. And when he saw that, he's like, the Holy Grail, this is it. And I was like, yeah, man. And I brought extra copies in case he was cheap. He wasn't cheap, so I gave him one. I said, "Here, take one of these. This is for you." And I got a great picture. Chris could probably pull it up someday, but or Father Miller, sorry. And but he was the nicest celebrity I've ever met. And if you were a wrestling fan, he was throwing people in headlock. He'd put you in 3 holds, choke hold, camel, whatever it was. And then, I mean, he was the nicest guy, and he was definitely the highlight. It was a little show in Cedar Rapids, Iowa that he was at, and it was just, yeah, he was super nice. So I wanted to give props out to him for showing up and being the man, because he used to host the G.I. Joe cartoon. There was a period where he was introducing the shows, right? And of course, he was the voice of Sergeant Slaughter. So there you go.
So, well, I got to start wrapping up because I have to go lock up the church, and I still got to pray most of my office, and I'm going to be turning in a bit.
Well, it was fun to see you guys and talk with you again. I'm glad my computer didn't lock up.
Anybody got anything to plug? Roman, got
I'm
anything to plug?
on Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, like always. And this week we're just going to be doing a free range show. That's random pop culture topics for about an hour, hour and a half. But the following Thursday, I've got a big show coming up where we're going to be doing Dark City. I've got a really nice panel put together for that. So that
Good
should be a lot
movie.
of fun.
Good movie.
Teresa, do you have anything coming up?
Well, yes, tomorrow I'm going to have pub crawl tomorrow afternoon with my nerdy home.
There you
Topic
go.
to be
Nice.
determined, and some maybe some more reviews of some comics or some of the fantasy I've been doing. Also, Teresa travels usually on Tuesday, a location to be determined from my travels in Europe. So, yeah, please go ahead and give me
And
a like, share,
congrats
and a
again on
subscribe.
becoming monetized.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, mostly
great.
monetized. Yes. Yes,
One of these days I'll make a
thank you.
video someday.
Yeah, AdSense, yes. But no, it's been great. Thank you very much. And of course, Catholic explaining. I already did my Catholic explaining today with the Holy Order. So next week's going to be matrimony. Then we're going to finish up the 7 sacraments.
Right on.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Father Sinatra or Justin, anything?
I get to meet Peter Weller. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
So
and
by,
Sam
the
Raimi-
way, that movie RoboCop, the bad guy, who's the guy from that 70s show, has the most classic bad guy line
Oh, he's the
ever.
best. He's the
But
best.
I can't say it because it's a bad word.
No, yeah, he's just
Oh.
original.
He's like,
But,
female
I
dogs.
just watched
leave."
the new
It's
one,
great. It's
and
great.
they were missing that. They didn't have that character in there. They just, they had bad guys, but it wasn't as classic
Oh,
as that.
that
But,
was Joel Kinnaman. Well, that's the same guy who played Rick Flag.
That's right. That's right. That's
same
right.
actor. Yeah.
I like the movie.
Not
He was
a
good.
great movie. The new RoboCop, not great, but
Well, it was never going to be the same, but I thought it had its moments, like he tases the one guy, and that's a good, funny moment, and a couple of things happen.
it's just, unfortunately, it's just there. It's lost in the sea of all the other remakes of all the other movies because it wasn't remarkable. I mean, say it's horrible. It doesn't take far to end up as horrible these days. I'm drifting, Father. I'm drifting. I know.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm going to be back Friday at the normal time. The last time I'll be streaming at 1 Central because with school starting up, my schedule is going to be pushed back because I'm teaching 4th and 5th periods now
Okay.
instead of 3rd and 4th. So I'm going to have to start streaming in 2 weeks at 2 p.m.
All right.
And
So
I'll
are
be
you-
on
are you
You might be able to
vacation.
make it.
I'm going to be on vacation for another 2 weeks.
What's the,
Ooh,
what the heck
nice,
day is it?
Father.
Enjoy.
So, Father, are you on the 11th then? Are you going to be on the 11th? Or you're
I'll
not
be on
yet?
this Friday. It's the Friday after
Okay.
that. I have to go back to Iowa because I have a
I'll try to
funeral
get all my
back in
stuff done early.
Solon.
I had a lot of cooking.
I'm
to do.
sorry.
I'm having a birthday gathering next weekend. So I'm doing, I'm Italian, so I'm doing all the Italian stuff. I got to cook a lot of stuff on Friday for Saturday. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough Saturday. So I'll try to knock it all out before we're going on at noon. Noon my time.
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
11 your time.
11
this
my
week will
time.
be the last time.
Oh, okay,
this,
okay.
This week is the last time it'll.
I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah, if you
I'll try.
can, great. If not, don't worry.
I might be covered in sauce and meatballs, but
No, that's fine.
I'm
So,
always very close to be covered in sauce and meatballs. It's just part of my life.
cooking tips with Roman. So, okay. Well, I'm gonna hit the button. So I want to thank you guys for joining. Like I
All right,
said,
thank
I'm
you,
trying to get back to
Thanks,
streaming
Father.
on
Was nice to
Sunday
meet you.
nights.
Justin, good to see you.
Yeah. So
Teresa?
we'll be seeing everybody later. So till